So if you're buying a house for the first time, it's 40 years old. Now let's go ahead and put a 50-year mortgage on that.
Yeah, you're gonna be 90, 100.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Congratulations for your 100th birthday. You paid off your first mortgage.
Right. Welcome to Property Management Uncensored. I'm Phil Kazmierzak along with Samantha McKinney. Today is our season finale. We made it all year. We're going to take off through the holiday season and just relax. Or just not do this.
Just, not do more than we have to do already.
This week's episode is titled Lessons Learned. We're going to talk about what we learned in 2025. And then, of course, we'll go through our rapid fire questions at the end. But first, since Grant just talked about this, we're going to talk about the 50-year mortgage. So you didn't hear anything about this, right?
Yeah, no.
So
Did they just make a 50-year mortgage term?
I think it was a comment that someone made that he passed along to President Trump, and then of course suddenly when the president says something, it is front page of the paper all the time. So they're floating the idea of a 50-year mortgage. Now, okay, so let's look at this objectively, okay? 50-year mortgage. If you are a buyer and you're buying a home and you need to pay it off over the next 50 years, your payment's going to be lower. Okay, great. Your payment's going to be, since it's paid out over 50 years instead of 30 or 15, your payment's going to be lower. Okay, cool. Downside of that, you are paying quadruple the amount of interest that you are going to be paying.
Right, you're going to pay for two of those houses.
Actually, you're going to be paying for 3.5 of those houses, actually, the way the math actually works out. When I was looking at an example, I think it was between 3 and 4 of those houses. It was ridiculous. But you're going to be paying less. So affordability comes down. I think that's what happened because they were talking about affordability.
You typically, and don't get me wrong, there are overachievers in this world who, beautiful, good for you. But most people typically do not buy their house until the age of at least 20 years old. So 50 plus 20, you're putting your final end game at owning your house at 70 plus years old.
So
minimum.
This just came out a couple of weeks ago, and NAR posted about it. The average age of a first-time home buyer is now 40 years old. So if you're buying a house for the first time, it's 40 years old. Now let's go ahead and put a 50-year mortgage on that.
Yeah, you're going to be 90, 100.
That's crazy.
Congratulations for your 100th birthday. You paid off your first mortgage.
Right. Crazy.
That's wild.
It could make sense in very limited scenarios. Well, first of all, let's talk about why it doesn't make sense for most people. One, because it's going to take 50 years to pay off. You're buying your first home at 40. You're paying it off at 90. That doesn't really make sense. Secondly, most people are only in their homes for 5 to 7 years. Mm-hmm. So you haven't even made a dent. You can't even sell your home at that point without bringing tens of thousands of dollars to closing. So you're locked into that property. You may be able to rent it out or something, but chances are you are locked into that property. Now, where it could make sense is for investors because it's a lower payment and they don't really care. It's freeing up cash flow. So it could sort of make sense if you're a first-time investor, not institutional investors, because they're typically paying cash or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still not even though, because you have low, expenses but the whole point, and investors are gonna sell before that 50-year term is up, right?
Yeah, yep.
So your chance of being upside down is, again, way higher.
Yeah, because investors, typically they're holding on to it more than an occupant because it's a long-term thing, but they're still going with the real estate cycle. When the real estate cycle is bad, they're going to sell. When the real estate cycle is good, they're going to buy. Yeah, so that was the only scenario where I could think it may possibly make sense for someone.
Short term, okay, but anything long term with that is...
And then I saw an article
absolutely terrible.
After that came out, someone said, well, then maybe 15-year car loans. Now, that's just stupid. Like, the cars may not even last 15 years. And you're driving, at least houses are appreciating in value over time.
I guess.
That car is depreciating the entire time. What a dumb thing.
You're going to still be having a $500 car payment on something that doesn't even run. Like, where is the brain logic in all of this? Like, it's like, oh, okay.
I know. And then in
It's like
Virginia,
everybody that's like print more money so we have more money, and it doesn't work like that. Like they don't look at the long-term effects of this stuff.
I know. And here in Virginia, I think they voted or something, I don't know, to increase the education standards, which I think is great. However, they just pushed it off an additional year. And I'm like, that's why they can't make sense out of the 50-year loan, because they don't get it. Oh, okay. Anyway, season finale, lessons learned. What did we learn in 2025? Do you have a big takeaway from this year?
A lot, yeah, like a lot of little ones. I guess like a big, huge one. Not really. I guess not concern yourself with things that you can't change.
Yes, that is always a big one. And a lot of these aren't necessarily lessons learned that I wrote down because we've both been doing this a long time. It's validations of things that we've already known. Nothing has changed. The big one for me that I took away is there's a couple actually, but I think the easiest way to say it is I'm trying to be nice. There's a reason we do things the way we do them, and we don't make changes to our systems. And that is because as soon as we make an exception to something, it'll go back
Bite
and go
us in the every single time.
Absolutely.
Every single time.
Absolutely. There's never a time where we've made an exception where it didn't come around and bite
And
us
I've
in the
been
ass.
like, damn, I'm so glad I did that. Never.
No.
I will say another big takeaway is constructive criticism. I guess what's the way to say it? Constructive criticism creates confidence later.
Okay.
And, it's, I think, a big thing that I think us and the team and what I think others should take away is constructive criticism creates growth. There we go.
That's a great way to put it.
Constructive criticism creates growth.
Do you think I pushed you more this year than I have previous years?
Yes.
Yeah. There was no hesitation in that at all.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the first year in property management, you kind of babied me a little bit, which I think was needed at the time because I was still trying to unlearn really bad things before. And it takes a while because when that is, implemented into your head so much, it creates a routine. And, to break free of what is instilled in you for so much does take time, and it takes patience and practice.
Yep.
I think I needed that constructive criticism again that, from the beginning. And then, the second year was kind of like, I'm not going to hold your hand, but I'm here. And then the third year, it was like, pretty much screw you. You don't need me. Like, you figure it out. And if you fall on your butt, I will pick you up. But I'm going to let you fall on your butt first.
Absolutely. Because that's where you learn.
That's where we're at now.
That's where you learn. And because the whole goal, when we talked about this in, I think, our last quarterly meeting is once we get around to January, I don't want to be involved in the day-to-day operations of property management anymore. I'm doing other things. So everyone needs to be able to know everything that I know. And that's part of my leadership style anyway, is I want everyone to know everything I know because that means I have less to do. So it just makes sense. And you can just do your job without needing to depend on someone else doing your job or doing something before you can do your job. So and I think we've done a great job of that this past year, just bringing everyone up to that level. And we're fortunate. We don't have turnover in our property management company for the most part. I think Zaida's coming up on 3 years maybe. She was hired after you, correct?
Yep, a little bit after.
A couple months after you. I think she was February and you were December, I think. So, and you're coming up on 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun.
And yeah, I mean, just like in the things that I've grown in and grown to learn about myself. Even the good and the bad. I'm happy to know the bad because it gives me a platform to know where I need to grow and looking at the way other people perceive criticism over the course of this last year is, everyone thinks of it as the personal attack, and it's so needed to grow in every aspect of life. So
especially tenants, like you correct something and it's immediately a personal attack, and we're like, look, it's your lease. Like, read your lease. It's right there. I think
that's the biggest thing that I've learned, honestly, this year is that everyone takes everything really personable, and nobody wants to take things and look at it and be like, wow, how can I grow from this? How can this make me better?
Right.
So the world has, it's taken a big change with accountability.
And never have they said, wow, if I had just read my lease in the first place, I wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah.
They've never said that.
Yeah. Everything is everybody else's fault.
Always everyone else's fault. Gosh. Yeah, we already talked about that one and that one. Another one I learned, owners do not know their property nearly as well as I would think.
No, not at all.
Like, they don't know.
Not at all.
They don't even know the system. Like, if they have gas or electric
Yeah,
heat.
no,
or if they have a
don't.
gas or electric water heater. Like, they don't know any of that. Well, there's a lot of them that do know, obviously. But there is a good percent that do not know the basic structure of their home.
Don't know what size water heater they have.
Yep.
Don't know what size HVAC filters their HVAC
Don't know how to
takes.
find out what size filters they have. Just look. They're like, well, where are they? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
We're here to help. It's okay. We'll figure it out for you. We will figure it out.
You know, and for the ones who have investment properties, I understand those.
Yes.
But for the ones who, like, a lot of these owners just moved out of these houses.
I
And
know.
I'm like, dude, you've lived here for like 5 years.
Yeah.
How do you?
How
It's
do you not
fine.
know if you had electric water heater or gas? Like, do you have a gas bill? Mm-hmm. Or if you have gas, is it just the fireplace? Is it the heat?
Sometimes
is it the water
you
heater?
can really tell
Stove?
who wears the pants in the relationships.
Yes.
With-
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily who you think it's going to be.
No, it's really not. It's not.
It's crazy. Also, another validation. This may get me in trouble. Home warranties still aren't worth the cost unless you are doing a major system replacement.
Correct. If you have a dual HVAC system in your house and you know that that thing is 14 years old, you better hop on American Home Shield real quick.
Absolutely.
You know, if you know you've done every, Band-Aid fix you can and both of those systems are about to crap out, that is when you get a home warranty. Other than that,
Yeah.
no.
Because otherwise you just spend $7,000 on a replacement like I did.
Well, no, yeah. Well, first you're going to spend the same amount of money doing $100 calls for fixes every week.
And it's going to take a week and a half for them to get out there.
Yeah.
The tenant's going to be happy. You're not in compliance with the VRLTA, which is the big part. Yeah. Home warranties.
I would have a home warranty on my own personal home.
It's easier. I've had one on. When we moved up to Falls Church, we had a home warranty for the first year because we negotiated it into the deal. But after that, I don't think we renewed it. Maybe I don't know. We didn't. I don't think we renewed it. I know Aaron had a home warranty on his townhouse down in Sneed's Ferry, and they came out and they're like, "Oh, this isn't covered," and it was like a washer dryer thing, and they're like, "No, that's not covered."
Do they cover roofs?
Some policies
Do some?
will cover roofs. Some will do repairs.
Okay.
But it's generally an additional coverage that you need to purchase.
What about all this Quest piping?
Yeah, so that
Is that
depends.
because honestly, I was just talking about it with the tenant because he was like, I just had a pipe break, and I was like, we're coming up on that year that all Quest piping is starting to fail in these houses.
Yeah, I mean, we used to say, if it hadn't gone bad in like 20 years, you're probably okay. But now we're exceeding that, and we're starting to see those
More
pipe leaks
still,
more and more.
yeah.
And it's going to depend on the home warranty.
Okay.
It's going to depend on the insurance as well. Because some homeowners insurance does not cover it, or they will just cover the repair itself. They won't cover the actual damage that was done to the property. But it depends on the specific policy. So
Good
I
to
would
know.
encourage you to look into that.
Yeah.
Personally, if it's got that type of plumbing, it's not something I'm going to be interested in because I don't want to replumb the whole house. Because when I move into a house, I'm there a very long time for the most part, minus Northern Virginia.
Yeah, that one's a wash.
that was a fluke. But I mean, I've been in my house since 2018 now, so we're at 7 years, almost going into 8 years. I'm just now starting to be like, well, I could start looking for another place. I looked yesterday online, but I'd have to sell my house, and it sounds like a hassle.
yeah.
And like, no, I can do it myself. It's actually not a big deal at all. It would take me nothing.
Just completely remodel it. Make it feel brand new again.
It's already been remodeled.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but-
just did the front bedroom, and I don't like it. So I'm like, oh, well, I like the walls. I don't like the bed. It's too big.
Oh, you didn't even tell me that.
Oh, it's done. Yeah. I mean, the bed is just huge. It takes up the entire wall. So,
Oh.
and that wasn't my vision. I wanted a minimalist look in there. But whatever.
That makes sense for the rest of the
I
house.
liked it. It had like plugins on the side of the bed for like your cell phone and stuff
Did
like
you
that.
measure it though?
No, I knew it was going to be big.
But you didn't think it
I
was
was
going to
going
look
to be
okay.
that big. Yeah. I was
Okay.
like, I'll take
All
a
right.
photo and send it to you.
Okay.
I like the
size bed
colors.
is it?
It's a queen. A king wouldn't fit. And I don't want a king in that room anyway. It's a guest
I know,
room.
but it's still that big in there. Weird.
Yeah. Anyway, trust but verify. That's another validation from 2025. Trust but verify. It's like when we do 2130s. We don't just trust that they did what they were supposed to do. We have to go back and do a reinspection to make sure they did it. Because they will tell you a lot of things that may or may not. We have different variations of the truth coming at us all the time.
Yeah.
So...
And people like to find little workarounds too, where they don't necessarily lie, but they're not telling the truth.
Right.
And so unless you articulate their words, they'll be like, "Well, I didn't really say that."
Yeah. It's like in the least they'll be, but there's a comma here which changes the definition. I'm like, no, we're not playing that game.
So just go and check yourself and verify.
Yeah, we're not doing all that. A picture says 1,000 words. Move out inspections. This year we had a couple people that complained about their move out charges, but it was not nearly as bad as previous years. And I think now people are seeing that we're bringing in third-party inspectors with on-site pros. They have the move-in inspection. They know you're there every 6 months after that. And then the move out inspection. They know they can't get away with anything anymore.
I also think that it helps that we have few people, so they know that they can't. It's like having a mom and a dad. Like, you can't. It's not like you have 20 other people you can go to. Like,
right.
They know that they have me and you,
Yeah.
and like our answers
and they're not coming
to me. So they're like, oh dang, I've only been dealing with Samantha. I can't be like, oh well, somebody told me this.
Yeah.
Because it's just been Samantha.
Right. And when we do say something, it's in writing. So we're like, oh, okay. Let's just go back to that email from 6 months ago and let's see what they really said.
Yeah. And we typically, 99.999% of the time, don't sway from policy or procedures.
Because
so
that thing that we learned earlier.
Yeah.
It will bite us in the ass.
So.
Oh, gosh. 2025, I think it was a great year of growth for us physically. Our door count grew, which is always nice. We're not going to hit our goal for the year. We're going to end up about 15 short, I think. Not the end of the world. I'm still pleased because our bottom line has still grown, which is fantastic in the property management world because we're very efficient with what we do. And that's why we don't have to raise our fees.
I think that 2025 was a huge growth year for us mentally. I think that we all cross-trained a lot. We all learned new things within our seats. I think that it wasn't even a slow year, growth-wise, like financially and stuff like that. But it was steady for a lot of it. And I think that during those times, we all worked really hard to grow within those slow times. And so I think that 2025 was really huge for us.
It was. And I had to give up a lot of things, like things that I turned over to other people.
Yeah, some of your control.
So
that was...
I still have check-ins to make sure, hey, was this done? Was this done?
You do.
Like, just to make sure. Trust but verify. And, those will get less and less as we continue to move forward. I know they're all getting done, but I'm still like, hey, did all the renewals go out?
I know you do, but then you can see how pleasantly surprised when you get your full checklist and you're like, okay, it's good. I can sit back now.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Some things I'm not turning over are the accounting, obviously.
Yeah.
We don't want Samantha doing math.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Listen, I do math. I just don't want to do the company math.
Yeah, I don't do company math. Yeah, that's much more difficult. So yeah, I'm not turning over QuickBooks or the accounting or the move out process because ultimately, I feel like I'm the one on the line for every single move out. So I continue to do
there's
this.
some things I think that need to have more than one hand just to fact check, second set of eyes, make sure that nothing's falling through the cracks.
Right. And sometimes I'm out of town. Like I think I hit 4 or 5 conferences in 2025 and I have the same amount for next year. Plus I'll do a little bit more traveling. So yeah, we'll see.
But I feel like you can leave now though.
Yeah,
and you cannot worry about, I can even leave now and I know that Melissa can carry 90% of the stuff that I can do, you know, and the other 10% somebody else can. That's nice.
I still take my laptop on every trip.
Yeah, they're workations, but I think that's just one. I think it comes from a place of control that everything works so great that we're just scared that anything's gonna fall off the tracks. But I think it also comes from a place of respect for one another. We know that this is my job and this is what we just all kind of
Yeah.
still do our own thing, and we trust that each other does their job, and we don't have to. I think it comes from a place of respect too, and just taking care of the team.
Yeah, and I mean, because in this field, I mean, there's no days off at all. Something can happen. I saw, work order requests come in 24/7. I mean, even if you're off, you're still checking to make sure there's no emergencies that came in.
Yeah, you're glancing.
See the email come in, I'm like, ugh.
If it's not an emergency, you're not going to hear from me. But,
That's right.
I'm glancing at it.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, that's something I learned too is, there's no days off.
There's
None.
no days off in this. But you don't have to answer the phone. So
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. We learned also, as we are continuing to learn this week, validated that phone conversations are a waste of time because they don't listen.
Yes.
So now we have to go summarize everything in the phone call in an email because the person has asked the same
Double the
questions.
time, yeah.
Doesn't matter that it was a 45-minute or an hour-long conversation
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
Yes.
Got to do it again. Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else that you've learned for 2025?
That ChatGPT is becoming my best friend.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about AI. And
that I do say things harshly because when I type it in and tell him to soften it up, it comes back with a way better version than what I originally put in.
Absolutely.
It made me realize that I do in fact talk harshly.
Yeah. So AI and ChatGPT is probably advanced more than any other technology that we use here. We use it every day for everything. Mm-hmm. It could be something as simple as softening, an email to a tenant or an owner, or it could be building an entire new process that we want to put in place. I mean, or you can put in a scenario. This is exactly what happened. How would you respond?
Right.
Like you can do, and we're not even scraping the surface of what you can do with ChatGPT. We just use it in a very basic function. Other people are using it for creating their own GPTs and doing far more than we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And we're still leaps and bounds ahead of other companies. When I was giving that presentation at the expo, and I asked how many people were doing AI, and like 20% of the hands went up.
And I wasn't for a long time. And then
I know.
It was really this year. And honestly, really just in the last couple months and it has drastically made my life easier.
It saves so much time, even if it's just a basic math thing. Instead of me having to figure it out, I just put it right in there and it's done in a couple seconds. Or now with Atlas, ChatGPT's browser, you don't even need to copy back and forth between ChatGPT and your browser anymore because it's all in there, but it only works on Macs at this point that I know of, I think.
I think that's a little bit of a control thing too, is you're like not wanting to give up control and you're like, it's a little bit of an ego thing and you're like, I can do it.
I can do it. I know.
But it's, when you're talking about time efficiency and, running at capacity, and do you want to run at 100% capacity, or do you want to let life and the AI technology run at 1% capacity and free up all of this extra time for you?
I want to run at like 80% consistently. That's what I want. That's fine. I think everyone's happy when they're running at 80% because they're not stressed out, but they're still busy. Even construction stuff, I learned a lot while we're doing this expansion here. Because someone will say, this needs to be done. And I'm like, okay, I'll take care of it. I have no idea what to do. But I can just put the scenario into ChatGPT and it's going to give me all these different options and the order of operations to make sure everything is done correctly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how far it's going to take us in the next year.
It's going to be crazy. I think there's going to be a lot more video interface, creating a lot more videos easier. I think it may encourage agents to do things that they would normally have an outsourcer do, like creating graphics for them. Because it really needs to get better on that, because you can tell it to do something, there'll be typos and all this other stuff. So it really needs to improve there. But once that issue is solved, there are people that are just graphic designers out there that are going to need to learn to do something else, because AI is going to do all their work. Yeah. Sorry, Grant.
Well, we've all kind of had to deal with, the next generation of technology kind of taking over some portion of what we do. I've had to deal with it in my job. Yeah. With the self-showing lock boxes and all of that. Technology is huge these days and it's doing a lot of things. So you have to find other ways to be creative and inventive and
Yeah, in my installation remarks in December for the Realtors Association, I talk about AI for a good portion of it and where I expect the field to be going. And it's going to be really exciting, I think. Because because technology is going to be our partner.
Well, I just never expected it to come out and be as good as it was. Like to
So
be
soon.
Yeah, right. Like it's still so new, and look at everything that is so. Just imagine in 6 more months.
If you are not using AI in some meaningful way every single day, you are already behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's it. And people are still using it and all they're doing is writing their public remarks or their listing remarks, and that's all they're using it for. And they're like, hey, I'm using AI. That's a good step, but it's not nearly where you need to be if you want to be successful in this business, because everyone else is going to be using it at a higher level.
Mm-hmm. We get to be like one of those last generations to be like, oh, we were born before AI. We had to pull out our dictionary instead of like walking uphill, 4 miles in the snow. We're going to have to talk about how we're going to have to talk about how we had to pull out the dictionary.
We had to go to the card catalog. Did you have to go to card catalog?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. So in the libraries, I had to go to a card catalog to find where a book was.
No, I don't think. I mean, we used to have to write on the cards in the back of the book and go and like find it. I used to have to organize. It's one of my electives in school. I used to have to organize the library
by
alphabetical.
Monitor.
And why do you think I just don't care about the key rack? You're like, Samantha, this is not alphabetical order. And I'm like, listen, I just did is the T's are with the T's. The C's are with the C's. Leave me alone.
That is so true. I'm like, who did this?
You don't ever need to mess with the keys. It's fine.
I'm like, this is why you put your kids in private school, because you don't want this to happen.
I don't got time for that. It's close enough.
Oh my gosh. All right. Is there anything else you've learned before we move on to our rapid fire questions? These are all going to be about 2025.
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Just that teamwork is so important too.
Oh my gosh.
Like it literally makes life what it's supposed to be all the way around.
I was checking my G-chats yesterday and I was like, God, did I even hear from Hans yesterday? And our team works so well together. He says, good morning, Phil, at 8 o'clock every day. And I'm like, good morning. And then at 5 o'clock, have a good evening, Phil.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you too. And that is it, because everyone does their jobs the way they're supposed to do it.
And we're not even in the same place. Like I won't see you all day, and we'll just like in passing. Okay, how was your day? Fine. See you tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Everything's working the way it's supposed to.
We work so great together that we work so well independently that we don't even know what the other person's doing.
I know. That's good. She's just sucking up because her review and raises next month.
Yeah, there is that too. I was talking about my Melissa. Okay. Phil just throws me to the wolves and tells me to figure it out now.
Melissa gives me shit all the time, like all day long. I'm like, good God. All right. And that's when your employees are comfortable with you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to like. That's how, as a parent, that's how you know your kids are comfortable and they're happy and they're thriving. Yeah. So good.
That's right. If 2025 were a tenant, would you renew its lease, raise its rent, or evict it?
Renew its lease, no rent increase.
Really? 2025 was a good year for you?
2025 was a phenomenal year for me.
I'd raise the rent. It was all right.
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't evict it. I mean,
okay.
I'd raise the rent.
That was a good question, though. Okay.
Thank you. It was
would you do a typical? Would you do a typical 3%, or would you do like?
No, I think I'd probably do a 3%.
Okay.
Yeah, 3% increase on 2025. Okay. If you had to describe this past year in property management as a movie title, like an existing movie that's out there, what would it be?
Lone Survivor.
That's a good one.
Not because I feel like I did it on my own, but it was just like there were so many different moving parts all year that I feel like I was barely here.
Yeah. I chose, did you see the movie Don't Look Up?
No,
it's a satirical movie blown out of proportion, asteroid coming to the Earth. And, like,
is that how you would explain it?
Yeah, I mean, the Earth gets blown up. I mean, but...
Jesus, yeah.
What's an oh no moment that happened this year? Something that went wrong.
There were so many, like, how do I even? There were so many things that went right, too, but also so many. Do you know how many, like, slideshows are flashing through my brain right now on how many oh no's.
I can think of one right off the top of my head for you because you just did it correctly yesterday for like the first time.
Oh, sending a tenant placement lease. That is the easiest thing too. Like, I don't even understand like how I just did something right yesterday for the first time in 3 years. Wait.
You might as well be a weather woman.
No, you want to know how bad we have to laugh about this? I do it wrong so often, and it's something so little, right? It's not detrimental or anything, so it's not like, I'm messing up everything. But I do it wrong so often that we have a process for when I do it incorrectly, and then a process that we use less for when I do it correctly. We have two separate, like it says, we only need to send this if Sam sends the incorrect. God. No. Yeah. There we go.
What's your proudest moment of the year?
Honestly, just one moment though. I think just the year in a whole with the way that we juggled what was on our plates and the time management. Like, we are a little team, and the way I see other teams scurry and freak out doing 1/3 of what we handle with grace and total it's crazy. So I literally just the whole year, like I am. It was a good year.
If your brain were a browser, how many tabs would you have open?
So many.
Yeah.
So many. I would crash. My whole system would crash.
What did you learn about yourself this year?
That I have a lot to work on and to grow in, and that there's a lot of ways that I can be better. Okay. But there's a lot of ways that I've gotten there. But yeah.
Fast forward to next year's final episode. What is something you would tell yourself?
That you're going to end up at the finish line anyways, so not to worry about the little details, to just do what you can.
Do you have a favorite tenant?
I have a couple. I have like a handful of like 5 favorite tenants, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What's one thing you are leaving behind in 2025?
I don't know. That's a hard one because I feel like I've...
How about your inability to do a tenant placement lease? How about we leave that behind in 2025?
Yeah, there we go. Can I leave market comps behind in 2025?
If you can train someone else how to do them, you sure can.
Or property inspections.
Yeah.
Those two things.
Sure. You can hire someone else, but it's coming out of your pay. How about that?
I know. That's the only crappy part.
Why do you think tenants don't read?
Because they're lazy.
Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get that big document and you're like, you just sign because it's the same thing that everyone else has in their lease. But ours is different. Mm-hmm. Like, you should read it. Mm-hmm. It's not the standard.
They're just lazy.
Yeah.
It's easier for them to have somebody explain the important parts to them than them to read through the... But it's all important. Like, if I just read it.
Yeah. That's it.
I also get it because sometimes I'd be feeling lazy. I don't want to read it either.
Oh, I get a contract the same. I'm like, I'm not reading that. I just had to sign one for an attorney, and I was like, I need to actually focus on this. So I read every single line to make sure.
We all got to do it. Like, it sucks. Yeah. But we got to do it.
Yeah. Or they just read the headlines and skip the actual paragraph.
They take more time emailing back and forth.
Yes.
Than it were to just take them to read it.
Yeah. Like, I want to break my lease. Great. Did you refer to your lease break section? No.
I know. And like, I really try. I guess that's one of my toxic traits is I can tell them, but like, I want to prove a point. I don't want to hold, like, it's like how I try to parent my kids. Like, I don't want to hold their hand in life. Yes. I have to teach them how to think for themselves. So even though I can take a minute and tell you, you can also take a minute. I can refer you to what section it is so you can learn how to think for yourself. I'm doing you a service in the long run by not
Samantha.
just giving.
Like, yeah, I can give you this answer, or you can figure it out.
You know, and sometimes like it does suck. Sometimes it sucks. You know, but I have learned that like sometimes I'll be sitting at my desk and I know I can ask Phil and he'll give it to me in 2 seconds. But I'm like, if I go and look for it, I know where I'm going to be able to find it. So I can get it in 2 seconds next time.
Yep.
But then sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, damn it, where is this? Just give me the answer. I've been looking for 25 minutes. I don't have time for this. That's like in those moments where like I'm in a hurry and I'm like, give me, you know, but for the most part, if I have time and the ability, I'm going to go and try to find it myself so that I can do that later on.
Yeah. And I think I can tell when you're at that point. And I'm like, I'm not going to give her a hard time. I'm just going to answer the question.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know, Samantha. What do you think the answer is?
I'd be like, I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm leaving.
Oh my gosh. I started reading some of the first 30 bills have dropped on Virginia's legislative system. So I was going through reading those, and I think there's only one housing related at this point right now. It has to deal with affordable housing. But I'm going to be watching those very closely over the next couple months while we are not recording. But I'll be doing updates on my personal Facebook page. And maybe actually, you know what? I'll probably put them on the company page as well. I'll probably write blogs about some of the bills as well.
Yeah, and then we'll have a good episode and a lot to talk about.
Oh, gosh.
On the upcoming one next year.
Yeah, because the session starts mid-January, I think. So that's probably when we will start. I'm guessing mid-January, end of January is when we'll start up again.
Mm-hmm. So it'll be some good topics.
Yes. All right. Thanks for tuning into the season finale. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. Thanks for tuning into the season finale of Property Management Uncensored. We'll see you next year.